in the meeting, and I will share my screen. So let's see on our MSI board where you can see the epics we are currently working on, and actually on today's demo we will make a presentation for most of the epics we currently have. So let's start from the demonstration of multi-stock support of virtual and downloadable product for single and on single and on default and non-default stocks. Actually, as you know, before that we mostly demonstrated you all the user case scenarios where just simple product been involved. Today we will show you support of different product types, and let's start from virtual and downloadable. This demonstration would be done by Pavel Bystritsky. So I'm stop sharing my screen, and Pavel, you can share yours.
Hello. Now I'll share my screen. Yes. First of all, let's check our preconditions. We have two stocks, default and custom, but currently default stock is active and assigned to our main website. Also, we have three products: simple, virtual, and downloadable product. Sorry, I have created not very correct. I'll quickly fix it. Sorry for this problem.
Seems like you need to provide some link to make this product downloadable.
I think. Okay, I'll delete it and create new. Oh, okay, it's nice. So we have simple, virtual, and downloadable product. Let's check it in our category. You see all of them are visible. Now let's check our search. Also, you can see all our free products. Now we can try to buy it. I'll buy all three products at one time to don't waste time. Proceed to checkout. Let's create an order. Now our order is created, so we can check our saleable quantity for default stock. As you see, it reduced. And now we can finish our order to show you what is correct now. Now we can invoice it. Submit invoice and ship it. Submit shipment. And so our order is finished and all is correct. Now let's buy the rest of stock, of quantity of our product in stock. First of all, let's try to add to our cart more than currently available for sale. As you can see, we cannot add 10 pieces of product because we have already bought one of every kind of product. So let's try to buy the rest of the product. Quickly. And now I will show you what order canceling is also works correct. As you can see, saleable quantity is now 0 for default stock for every of our product. Let's cancel our order. Cancel. We have canceled our order, and as we can see, all our products are now back to stock. 9 we have. And now let's do reorder and make all of our products out of stock. I will do reorder from admin. Sorry. Yes, we have created, and now we need to ship it, invoice and ship it. Invoice and ship. Yes. And as you can see, now all of our products have 0 saleable quantity for default stock, but on front end, it's not finished yet. Simple product, as you can see, is gone, it's out of stock, but downloadable and virtual are not yet finished, so we are in stock now. But you can't add it to your cart because really it's out of stock, and simple is out of stock. Yes, as you can see. Now I will show you the same, but with our non-default stock, our custom stock. Let's do it active. Assign it to our main website. And do the same thing. As you see, all of our products are now back to stock because it's another stock is active now. And let's do the same as we already done this with default stock. Oh, I have forgot to show you it all. You can see it all in our search. Now we should see that our quantity is reduced by 1 for our custom stock. As you see, it's now 9, not 10. Let's maybe cancel our order to see what our products are back to stock. Yes, now we have 10. Again. And let's do reorder and buy all available quantity. Oh, sorry. More available. Okay, I'll do it from front end to don't waste time. Now we have 0 for all of our product quantity. But as you can see, virtual and downloadable product are not finished yet. So we have, oh no, I'm sorry, it's a mistake. We need to finish our order. Let's invoice and ship it. As you can see, we ship only simple product because virtual and downloadable have not to be shipped. Shipment has been created. We can go to our category page and see the same pictures for default stock. Simple is gone, it's out of stock, and virtual and downloadable are visible as they are in stock, but really they are out of stock, as you can see. And that's all from my side.
Okay, that was the functionality of virtual and downloadable product and support for different stocks. As you can see, like many of the functionality implemented, we have some slight bugs regarding the reservation placement and regarding the representation on a front end virtual and downloadable product, because currently we use not service but is saleable method out of product, and I believe it would be fixed pretty shortly. Maybe there are any question about the demonstrated functionality from Mark or maybe from Anton. I see he's joined.
No, I don't have any questions about this particular story.
Me too.
Okay, so let's proceed to further story and further functionality to be presented. So according to our agenda, we will demonstrate next the we'll demonstrate support of bundle and group products on default stock. So this is Epic. This is Epic bundle and group product support on a default stock. Just to remind you that we agreed that in a minimal viable product of multi-source inventory, we will stack bundle and group product to the default stock. So they would be. So we will preserve support of this complex product type in a single stock implementation. But currently, as we don't have enough resources to build indexes for both bundle and group product, we will not support them for multi-stock implementation on a non-default stock. So Nikolai will demonstrate how bundle and group products are preserved and that they work in a multi-source inventory in the scope of default stock. Nikolai, feel free to share your screen.
Yeah. Hi. So let's share my screen. Okay, so my setup is next. It's almost like clean installation, so no additional stocks or sources were created. I have three products, one simple, one group with this simple, and one bundle. I have two websites, and all the products currently with single stock presented on both websites, so we can see they assigned to the same category. We can search, right? So the bundle, group, and simple is searchable. Yeah, and well, let me show just basic functionality of buying all these products. So probably I should log in. Yeah. Now. Okay. So let's add to cart all these products. Okay, so our group and our bundle. Yeah, let's customize. So as it has only one option, we not customized fully. And okay, let's place order. So let's finish our order. So it contains all products like simple in the scope of the group product and the bundle. So let's invoice it. Okay. And let's ship our order. So everything works fine if we look at our simple, right? So it has quantity 7 as we buy simple in context of group and bundle. Now let's create just real quick additional source and stock for our additional website. And let's create an additional stock. Let's assign it to my new test website and my created test source. So potentially now we have like a multi-stock system, and if we take a look at the products, oh, sorry, let me just perform a little, reindex as Magento demands. So yeah, currently we already can see at the grid that simple product reflects all new information for the sources and stocks. Currently it has only default source and default stock, so let's assign to it our newly created sources, right? So yeah, well, now we can see like new UI details for the simple. Okay, let's set it like 10 and let it be. And if we take a look at our bundle or group product, there is there will be no new UI details because well, they are currently not supported for multi-stock. So there is no new UI from there that was like grouped. And let's really quickly check our bundle. And it's the same, has no additional UI elements. So let's check on our default website, our products. So they should be all still available, right? All three of them. So if we, again, sort them, we can find all of them. If we check our additional website, we see only simple product because, well, bundle and group currently not supported. And if we check in the search, we can find only simple product. And, well, that's all for my side, I believe.
I just want to add my two cents to this presentation. So actually, I will just highlight some technical details regarding how the support of the complex product been added, or actually how we preserve support of complex product for default stock. So actually, like you probably know that we create indexes on a fly for each particular stock in a system. And actually, we made a decision that we no need to create this a index for default stock, and we started to reuse already existing index for which we have for catalog inventory. So this is catalog inventory stock status index. We wrap it with a MySQL view to provide the same actually interface. What other indexes, what other MSI indexes provide. And now we eliminated all the most of the synchronization between the default source and the stock item we have in a legacy system, and that provided us an ability to support all the products which already exist in catalog inventory stock status index. So reusing the stock status index, we preserve the support of group and bundle products. Is there any questions, technical or product question regarding the presented functionality? If no, let's move to another item in our agenda. And another item in our agenda is support of configurable product. So we already showed you on a previous demo that we are able to create configurable product, and from the UI part we already demonstrated you changes in admin UI, how our configurable wizard changed. But we at that time we did not have support of indexation for configurable product. So let's show you the indexation and how the configurable product represented on a different stocks. So actually this functionality was prepared and demonstrated by Vadim Eustace from Tech Division, but taking into account that he could not attend for today's meeting, I will share my screen and I will run the recording which Vadim prepared for us, and you can see how this functionality works. So I suppose that you see my screen, and let's start the presentation from Vadim.
Hi guys, I worked on the task about the indexation of configurable products. Now I want to show you my results. As you can see, I already have one configurable in the front and one configurable in the backend. We'll create a new one. I need to hurry up. So configure tool. Add it to the category in order to see it in the front afterwards. And I need to think about to add it to my second website. Sorry guys, to log in. So here we are. As we can see in the database, there is still no aggregated stock entries for this configurable because we didn't add any quantities to the symbols. Now we will do. So we assign our stocks to the symbol. I remove the default stock, it's not necessary for this demo. Save the product. Now we see the first two entries here. So we have the entry for the one symbol and the aggregated result for the configurable. I will add also some stock information to our second symbol. Now we can see the second entry for the symbol, and we see the aggregated value for the configurable. The result is our configurable is in our front. We can see it. The same works with the full indexation. Imagine I don't have any index tables yet, and we run the index for the inventory. So here we are. The tables are there again. And it also works with if I set this products out of stock. So for example, for the US stock, I set out of stock one of the two symbols. We will see in the database. So this is the US stock. The one symbol goes completely out of stock and is not saleable. We see the aggregated amount is only the aggregation of this one left symbol. And now I will do the same. I think I have some Redis problems here. So now I will do the same with our second symbol. Set it out of stock. Save. And we can see this product is never saleable on the front because we see in the database it's completely not saleable. Well, thank you guys. This was my part. See you.
You can pay the attention that Vadim finished his presentation with when his battery was totally out of charge. So that was a demonstration of how the configurable product work on a different stock, including the non-default stock. If there are any questions regarding this functionality, both from technical perspective or from product, we can discuss it.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. Of
Okay.
course, it was a video anyway, but yeah, I don't for this one.
Okay. Actually, I could answer a question if so. not the question.
Sure.
Asking the video. Okay, so let's proceed to next item in our agenda, and the next item gonna be multi-stock shipment handling, and that functionality was implemented by Sergey, and I will demonstrate this functionality as soon as Sergey a little bit shy to make demonstration by himself. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning and okay. So currently we have multi-stock system, but we assign to default stock. It's pretty important because let's proceed with the checkout and shipment afterwards on default stock. Because very important requirement for us. Oops. That's very important requirement for us is to preserve the same behavior as single stock merchant had before. Can I please ask you guys to mute yourself because I hear echo? Probably I have issue with Vagrant. 2322. Let me refresh. Yes, I have issue with Vagrant. Oops. So while I have Vagrant getting back again, so I will continue describing actually the main idea of the story beyond presented. So as soon as we need to preserve the same behavior of shipment for our single stock merchant, for us it's pretty important to show that we did not affect the behavior of shipments and actually order processing which happen on default stock for single stock merchants. And this is what I'm going to show you as soon as my Vagrant box would be up and running again. So let's try to refresh the page. Hooray! Okay. At least this works. So now let's get to admin panel. Admin panel. It could take some time because we need to revalidate all the full page cache because it was revoked. So currently you see the default stock is assigned to main website. So currently we are on a default stock. Let's find a product, for example, test simple product. Put it to the shopping cart. Let's put test simple product 1 either to the shopping cart. Currently you see this value in shopping cart. Just to demonstrate that we have pretty big quantity on default stock. So let's put it in a different quantity. So currently we have 3 products in our shopping cart, and let's proceed to checkout. Now we are placing this order. So Igor, Nella, company Magento. Even it's this is not required field, I always fill it. Test city. Oops. And now we can make a payment using the money order. So now the order is placed, and as you can see, customer didn't have any difference comparing with the single stock system you used to see before, like in Magento 2.1 or 2.2, so it's totally similar. And let's proceed to completing this order from merchant perspective. So here we have a merchant session. And let's proceed to this particular order. So this is order I just placed. It's pending. And let's directly go to shipment. As you can see, now we're redirected to the shipment page, which you used to see before on a Magento 2.1 and 2.2 installation. So actually, you can specify the number of quantity to ship. You can make a partial shipment, etc. But let's not bother with this and spend time. Let's submit the shipment and complete it. And now we can. So we made a full shipment. Now we can make an invoice, and that would be all. As you can see, there are no difference comparing to what you used to see before and comparing to what Magento 2.2 proposed for order processing. Now let's do a little bit another thing. Now let's assign non-default stock for our website. To do this, let's go to stores and manage stocks. And let's assign Europe stock for main website. When we assign Europe stock to default to main website, it is at the same time it is unassigned from default stock. And here we have assigned sources as you remember from previous demonstration. As long as currently we have source selection algorithm which works by priority, so the order of items matters here. So the Germany stock has the most priority, and the Ukrainian one has the lowest priority. We will use this priority at the time when the algorithm will decide from which sources we need to fulfill the order. So now we can save and close. Now we are getting back to the stock grid, and in the stock grid we see that main website was reassigned from default stock to Europe. Now I will show you. Like products. By the way,
I missed it. Was main website reassigned to European stock automatically?
Sorry?
Was the main website reassigned to European stock automatically when you added sources?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So actually, website or sales channel in our terms can be assigned to the only stock. That was the idea behind the MSI.
Yeah, it was not that he changed the sources. It was that he made the reassignment, and each website can only be assigned to a single stock.
Understood. Thank you.
By the way, here you can pay the attention that we fixed actually pretty small but pretty irritating bug, and we don't have any object here, but actually we currently represent the correct quantity per sources, and here per stocks. So we currently can go to particular product and see that we have different sources availability for this product. Now let's go to Frontend and place an order. So here is Frontend. Let's make a search. And is this? Yeah, Simple Product 2. Let's place Simple Product 2 to our shopping cart. And actually, let's put them both. So let's put Simple Product either to the shopping cart. Let's open mini shopping cart and update quantity. Like set here 20. Let's set here 30 and 20 here. Update quantity. By the way, altogether here we have less than 300 items. So let's just check that we have a validation. Yes, the validation works. And let's update quantity to 20. And now let's proceed to checkout again. Igor, Magento, yes. Austin. So we are good at this stage. And let's use check money order. Let's place the order. So the order is placed, and now let's go to admin panel and see how the process of shipment placement changed. Currently sales orders. Here you can see this newly created order, and we can view it. And now let's proceed to shipment. And for now, shipment would be different to what was presented for default stock. So here we add an intermediate page, and this intermediate page shows you the result of source selection algorithm. And with an ability for merchant to affect and modify the proposed result of source selection algorithm. In our case, that was algorithm which provides the source selection based by predefined priority. So taking into account that in Germany, they have the highest priority, currently algorithm proposed to make the source deduction from German stock, but we can change this. We can change this source allocation, and for example, decide that we will make delivery from Germany just 10 items, and the other 10 items of test simple product 2 would be delivered from Poland. And also we will, let's make Ukraine, just to use different sources. Let's use Ukraine, and here we can decide to ship 20 items and 10 items from Poland. Here's another pretty important stuff to talk about, because taking our invariance and taking our business logic that our shipment supposed to have just two addresses, the shipment address and the delivery address, we need to create we need to create the only shipment for each particular source. So we can't create a shipment which will include delivery from several sources. That's why actually we have this drop down. here. Actually, the UI is not the final version, and we can introduce some changes here. But actually, it's just to demonstrate how it's supposed to work with multiple sources. So here, merchant decides that we are processing the shipment for German stock, and we choose Germany. Germany is the source code of one of the sources we have. And now what will happen when we will click the create shipment button? We actually will create a shipment just for delivery from Germany, Germany warehouse. And we will create a shipment for test simple product 2 in quantity 10 and test simple product in quantity 20. So let's create shipment. You see that we use this value, and actually we use 10 here and 20 for corresponding products. And actually now we are getting back to the same functionality which we had before in Magento. So this is not the functionality which we affect somehow. So this is this functionality of new shipment. For example, we can add some tracking code here, like DHL for Eagle, a tracking number, and we can submit shipment. So we created one particular shipment, but we still have, so it works like a partial shipment. We can still go to the shipment stage. And actually, at this time, we still run the source selection algorithm. And as soon as we have the Germany as a primary source with the highest priority, we are again proposed to make the delivery from Germany. So here, for example, we can make a delivery from Poland just to speed up the process. We have 10 products, and let's use 10 products here. We have.
Igor, can you show what will happen if you put in a quantity that's invalid, so you try and ship more than are available?
Currently, we have some issues with validation. That's why I, with pleasure, will demonstrate this functionality to you on the next demo. Because like currently we have some issues with validation, but yes, it's supposed to be implemented here on the same page.
Okay.
And now we, but actually let's try it. So for example, we have 30, I believe we will end up with some issues. You see, actually here we use the correct quantity, but we did not validate that quantity on the previous.
Right.
So, but here we create the shipment for Polish source, and now we. So, by the way, before I create this shipment, I want to show you pretty interesting stuff, because we are not just create the shipment, but we also persist the shipment. And what we've done, we introduce the extension attribute to our shipment interface, and we persist the relationship of source to the shipment. And actually, we store it and persist into our database. So let's open.
Is this reflected in Web API?
Yes, that should work. Actually, we did not test it, but this should work in Web API. So we will have the next week of the a stabilization week, and we will check. And I believe, actually, I'm pretty sure that we will demonstrate that how the Web API works on the next demo. So let's connect to the database. So what we've done, actually, we did not put this data to the sales shipment table. To introduce this extension attribute, we introduce on table, inventory shipment source. Let's see what it contains. Actually, it's pretty straightforward. It contains the shipment and source code. So currently, the last one we created for Germany, and now we will place an actually now we will create a shipment for Poland, and we're supposed to add one more item here with shipment ID, I suppose 8, and the source code Poland. And yes, and just to show you that we have the same data in the sales shipment. So let's make a select for so the last one was entity 7, which we created with quantity 30, and yeah. So that was for order 5. Now let's proceed with the shipment. So we created the shipment. Here you see that we added one more item for, we created one more item for original shipment table. You see that quantity is correct, 20. And now let's show that we added inventory shipment source. So here we added relationship to the shipment ID 8, shipment ID 8 in this table either. And we have the source code Poland. So that that functionality of persistent source code, which was used to fulfill the order, would be used in the next epic, which we will need to finish actually returns. I will just show you. Yeah. Here is the hub board. So that would be used for Adop Returns. So all returns will use this data to actually make a return to the source which was used to fulfill the order. Because before that, we use source selection algorithm just dynamically. We never store the result of source selection algorithm, and for order, for placed order and for order for which we created shipment, we just lose the idea what sources were used to fulfill the order. Now we fill that gap, and now we persist this information. Yes. So here you see that we shipped all the data. Actually, because initially we created kind of partial shipment, we use the German source. Now we use the Polish source to send all the leftovers in the scope of this particular order. And now there is no shipment anymore, and we can proceed to invoice that. So actually, this is part of the epic. Let me show the epic. This was part of the epic. Actually, there are like several epics here. Adapt, change quantity on shipment step of order page, and also, yeah, change quantity of shipment step of the order page. And actually, it was a preparation for Adop Returns here. Are there any technical or product question regarding this functionality?
Yeah, so we had one on the chat from Ben, which was actually interesting. So when you first run the source selection algorithm, then you assign some quantities to, say, Polish, and then selected Poland. But the quantities you type in are not persisted onto the next page because we haven't made modifications there. So yeah, the question was around why, you know, it doesn't make sense to enter them if we don't save them for the next page.
So what was the idea? So we're going to adjust this behavior But what was the idea? So when a merchant initially come to the shipment page, he's proposed to make a fulfillment according to our source selection algorithm. And actually, at this stage, he will need to create as many shipments, as many sources will take part in the order fulfillment. Maybe in the scope of some particular source, he would want to make several shipments. He would because the partial shipment also supported in the scope of one source either. And if merchant totally agree with the proposed option by source selection algorithm, he can choose, for example, Germany, and he can proceed. For a shipment creation, and actually that will work for him properly. But if he would like to apply some changes at the source selection screen, we lose this data. Because how we thought this functionality will work, because, for example, we could have different admins responsible for each particular source, for each particular location. So, for example, on the screen with all shipment comes admin responsible for German source. And the guys from Germany, he's actually in charge and he knows better how many items we can ship from German source, and he applies the changes for German source. And after that, he proceeds to creation shipment from German source. And he's not in charge for all other sources, for example. And when the guy from Polish source will come to the site and he will go to shipment, he can just arrange data for shipments or for Polish source. That was actually the idea. That's why we don't keep the state between the shipments. Ideally, we can try to keep the state, but as we already discussed it before, our source selection algorithm is actual at the time when we run it. And if we will just save the result of source selection algorithm and we'll try to apply it later, it can lose its actual state. Because, for example, at the same time, another admin can place the order or just fulfill the order and make a source deduction for particular sources. And it could happen that for example, for Polish source, there are no more product to fulfill this particular order. That's why we launched the source selection algorithm on the main shipment screen, like anytime when merchant comes there. That was the idea. Because for us, it's really hard to maintain the state because we don't have reservation on the sources at this time.
Igor?
Yes.
Yeah. Given that probably this is a topic related to UX, and I'm not sure I'm qualified to express my idea, but probably we could improve this experience by asking for the source at the very beginning of shipment creation, and then making editable only the quantities from the source that we selected at the beginning of create shipment step. This could be less. This would leave less dots related to the fact that I can edit the field in countries from which I don't ship. But maybe Mark and the UX team can listen about this.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It's a question we need to look at with Eugene, the designer, to understand which flow will be the best.
Yes, let me just.
If you can show just that screen, the source selection screen.
Yeah. Actually, I'm trying to get it because I need to pre-create. I need to place an order to get there because I don't have any more items left in the scope of previous order. So let me quickly proceed with checkout. Oops. So here's we done. Let's go to orders. Yeah.
And
yes.
I assume that when we create shipment from an order, resulting in multiple shipment created by that action is not viable solution. I assume. I mean, we don't take into consideration the fact of generating multiple shipments when we create a shipment in the admin, one for each source we have in the selection.
But yeah, so when we create shipments in the admin, it's only one at a time.
Yes.
It's attached multiple tracking numbers to one shipment. Yes. You can't create more than one at once.
Yes, I see two things here. If I submit here the create shipment, we could create, we here have 1, 2, no, in this case we are only Germany, but if I leave the editable fields in the other countries, say that I edit also the Poland and the Ukrainian warehouse, I could generate 3 shipment documents, and I have to then, I can work on each 3. But I don't know if this is understandable or viable from, for example, from an API point of view. The other idea was that of asking for selecting the source as very first step, and then in the second step only letting the user edit the source for the country that has been selected. The source that has been selected in the previous step. Not to confuse, making it clear that there will be only one shipment for that source as a result of create shipment action. Anyway, just ideas. I don't want to.
So from my perspective, we totally agree. Like this UI is not like finished, and we need probably to introduce more evident ways for merchant to get the idea how it works. But like the main business idea which we try to implement here, so we introduce this intermediate step before the shipment and the like existing Magento shipment, which work with one shipment address to one delivery address. And currently, what we actually introduce here, we introduce here the selection of source, for example, like in this case, Germany. And after that, we are just redirected to our already existing shipment, which is already implemented, and for which we're already able to generate PDF, and which satisfy our business requirement that there should be like 2 addresses only. And we are not adding like different addresses, for example, for both Germany and Polish address in the scope of one shipment. And yes, here we can rearrange the UI on this step, but it was just a demonstration of how this, how we are like on the high level, how we accomplish the multi-shipment solution with introducing additional intermediate step to our shipment, and this step supposed to resolve the source which would be used on the next step, and for this source we will create our typical Magento shipment. maybe I don't know. So probably that's a question to Evgen Banach, and we need to make to get a feedback from usability guys. For example, like maybe it makes sense when Germany is used just to hide Poland and Ukraine here, or make other stuff. But actually, it was just an idea that we are introducing the intermediate step for shipment, and we are placing merchant to our typical shipment with already resolved source in advance in this particular step. Does it sound good?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, maybe some question from Anton. Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen. The last but not the least functionality which gonna be presented for today's demo is functionality which was prepared by Bartek, but he could not attend today's meeting, so I'll just by Bartek from Bolt Agency, but he could not attend today's meeting, so I'll just tell you, because I didn't have time to prepare my environment to make a demonstration of this functionality. So the functionality created by Bartek was we have such configuration option as manage stock, and it's possible to set it to 0. In this case, in Magento we don't manage stock at all, so we don't make any calculation of quantity for product. And before the Bartek implemented this feature, we still created a reservation for products which have non-manageable stock. And actually, this little bit violates the idea of non-manageable stock, because we still create some reservation which is supposed to affect quantity. So what Bartek did, he just switched off reservation for non-manageable for products with non-manageable stock, and we don't create reservation anymore for this type of products. Also, just want to highlight that on the previous week, 23rd and especially 24th of March, we have a distributed contribution day, and there are many agencies participated in this event. For example, as I mentioned, Bartek, guys from Tech Division, and I see Slava currently is on a meeting. So Slava from Atvix. So all these guys, and of course Alessandra participated on this event, and we've been given 17 pull requests to MSI, and most of these pull requests already merged to MSI. There are just 3 pull requests left in our queue from this event. All other pull requests already processed and merged into MSI mainline. And actually, for the sake of this event and for the sake of this pull request created, we are able to demonstrate today so many interesting functionality to you, and because there are too many to demonstrate. And thank you guys for your cooperation and for making all that contribution. Maybe there are any general question left, not related to particular functionality being presented today, but related to MSI or any other stuff.
I was just thinking that we should at a later time arrange to have a demo where we show most of the same functionality that we've shown on prior demos, except using API instead of front end and admin.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And yeah. So from my perspective, also the next week for us would be like a pretty big stabilization, because currently we demonstrated, especially like first two demonstrations, and actually the last one were presented from different branches, so they're still not merged into 2.3 develop branch. So we will be merging all that functionality into our main line and fixing all the tests which will eventually fail in the scope of this stabilization. And also, I believe till the end of the next week, also I believe we will implement the return functionality. So this is actually only piece which is absent in our puzzle, which we can say Magento with MSI on board. And after that, we can even prepare the stable branch for you, Mark, to make a product demo on MSI branch. Okay, guys. If there are no any other question, thank you for your participation. Thank you for your contribution, and thank you for your question, because we appreciate any kind of contribution, even question in our Slack channel always matters for us, because you share your insight, your business idea, and actually this is really important. Thank you for your attendance on today's demo. It was a pretty long one. Probably it's the absolute record among all the previous demo we conducted till now. And see you next time, and stay tuned, and keep in touch in our Slack channel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.